What would be a scene that would be like really common to us in small town Missouri? Something you see every day and you wouldn't think twice about. It's just just part of life. And maybe it's a hot summer day and you're sitting in the stands. Somebody by you's got some peanuts or some Cracker Jacks. Somebody else has a soda and a scorecard, and you see a ball player. He steps out of the dugout into the on-deck circle, and picks up 2 bats and starts to swing the bats around to loosen up while he watches the pitcher, trying to gauge the speed of the pitches. Then he drops the bat and steps into the batter's box and begins to, dig in the dirt in the batter's box for a foothold. We see that. I mean, that's common to America, common to the life that we live. Or maybe you're inside and you're pushing a cart with a wobbly wheel down an aisle, and there's bright lights and colorful packages on the shelves, and there's a young man there wearing a white apron, and he's got a box cutter, and he's cutting the boxes open and taking the boxes out of everybody's feet and put them up on the shelves, making sure they're all straight, and a voice comes out through the intercom, and he puts the box cutter into his pocket and walks quickly up to the front of the store to the checkout, because now he needs to smile and bag the groceries and carry them out to the car. And something we've seen thousands of times, and it's life. It's what you see. You don't see think a second thing about it when it comes across. And Jesus tells a story to the people in John chapter 10 that is common to them. It's about a shepherd and his sheep. And it was so much their everyday life, so much what they saw every day, that after he starts, it says they really didn't get the point. They didn't understand. It's like saying, oh yeah, we know. We see that. So what? And then Jesus takes that simple, real life scene that they see all the time and lays down beside it some really wonderful spiritual truths. And that's where we're going to be this next Sunday in John chapter 10. Chapter 9, we touched on a little bit back when we did chapter 5, because both chapters contained a miracle and mixed responses to the miracle. And we'll touch on chapter 9 a little bit again this week. But we're really going to focus on chapter 10. Last week we started into chapter 7 and chapter 8, and we were in the Feast of Tabernacles. And we're still going to be there. 7, 8, 9, and into chapter 10. So we'll be doing that. Then in the middle of chapter 10, there's a break. See if you can find it. There's a break in chapter 10 that would be 2.5 months long. And then it picks up again. And so we start chapter 10. It's probably early October. By the time you end chapter 10, we're probably in late December. But Jesus is going to tell some stories and some illustrations about the sheep and the shepherd. Now keep in mind when you read through this, Jesus isn't really talking to us. He's not really talking to us, the sheep. He's really talking to the religious leaders, who would be the false shepherds, the fakes, the phonies, the thieves, the robbers. And he's telling them, now this is how the real shepherd, this is how the good shepherd, the true shepherd, cares for his sheep. But we get to sit in and listen as Jesus talks about him and talks about us, the shepherd and the sheep. Some things to look for. And again, I encourage you to go back and read chapter 7, 8, 9, 10, because it all flows together. The Feast of the Tabernacles and then afterwards. So read all those chapters. When you get to 10, 3 R's kind of keep in mind to think about as you read the chapter. Number 1, think about the relationship. What do you see as far as the relationship between the sheep and the shepherd? Back then, the shepherds, they didn't just keep the sheep for 6 months or a year and then butcher it like some places do now. They wanted the sheep for their fleece, for the wool. And so they would have those sheep for years and years, sometimes a really long time. And they would do, everything together from, they'd be together through beautiful spring pastures and clear fall days, through cold driving rain and danger. They were together all the time. And he knew the sheep by name, they knew his voice. So as you go through there, look for the relationship between the shepherd and the sheep. The second thing to look for is, what do the sheep receive from the shepherd? Maybe make a mark of that. In fact, just for fun, when you finish chapter 10, go back and read Psalm 23. And just kind of lay that over the top of chapter 10 and see how that fits. The third one then is the response. And why Do some people believe and some people reject? And some people want to worship Jesus and some people want to kill him. What is it that makes the difference? So think about those R's. The relationship, what you receive, and what the response is. And I'll see you Sunday for chapter 10.